Hello, my name is Dwayne Kimball, owner and founder of KMD89 VA Claims Consultant, Leave No Vet Behind, and also I'm a United States Army veteran. Today I'm bringing you another educational video as it pertains to the VA disability compensation claims process. And today I'm going to be discussing the difference between an FDC claim, also known as a fully developed claim, and a standard claim. A lot of veterans are still a little bit confused about the differences between the two. And also in this video, I'm going to discuss which one I used and which one would I go back and use if I had to, start my claim, if I was doing my claim all over again, and some of the successes that I think that you may have. Okay, so let's jump right into it. So if you saw any of my other videos, you know I love showing slides, and I have 3 slides today where I'm going to talk about to show the differences between the FDC claim criteria and the standard claim criteria, okay? But as I say in all my other videos, I still encourage you to go out and do your own research as well. This is just a small snapshot to get you thinking about what would be the path, the least resistance for which type of claim that you want to submit for what you're claiming, the conditions that you're claiming, okay? So slide number 1. Slide number 1, as you can see, this is just a snapshot of a formal VA claim form. And this particular claim form is the VA form 21-526EZ, okay? And this can be found on page 8 of this claim form. This claim form has 12 pages, and veterans normally only submit pages 8 through 12, okay? This is page 8, all right? So in the top right-hand corner, you want to check, you see there's an expiration date, September 30th, 2022, okay? So section number 1, first let me back up. This claim form is called the Application for Disability Compensation and Related Compensation Benefits, aka VA form 21-526EZ. And you can see in section 1 here, it has 4 different selections. You have the fully developed claim, FDC program, standard claim process, IDES, and then the BDD claim program. We're not going to be talking about the IDES or the BDD claim process. If you're interested or you want to find out more information about the BDD program, I did a video on that last year, towards the end of last year, explaining that program. So today, we're just going to be talking about the fully developed claim program and the standard claim program. And where you can find this, again, page 8 at the top of the VA form 21-526EZ. So, I also said towards the end of the video, I'm going to talk about my personal claim, which one I use and, which one I think that I would probably use if I had to go through the process again, okay? So that's where you can find that information. But now I'm going to talk about the differences between the two. A lot of veterans don't know the difference and they don't know where to go and find it. Well, I told you where you can go and find it. So these next slides that I'm going to show you is the criteria, they give a little bit of explanation between the two. And they can be found on between pages 1 and 7 of the VA form 21-526EZ. Those first 7 pages, a lot of veterans, they don't read and they go right to page 8 and they fill it out. And, I tell people whenever you are working your claim, you want to try and read as much information as possible. And in this case, the VA is giving it to you on those first 7 pages, okay? So this is where, these next 2 slides, this is where I obtain this information from, okay? But you can go to the M21 reference. That's a good source of information as well that would explain these a little bit, the difference between the two in a little bit more detail, okay? So slide number 2. And in slide number 2, you can see on the left-hand side, it has the FDC program, optional, expedited process. And then on the right, the standard claim process. So I'm not going to go through all the bullet comments. I'm just going to touch on a couple of them, okay? So on the left-hand side, for the FDC program, it says you must submit all relevant private treatment records if they exist, identify any relevant treatment records available at a federal facility such as a VA medical center. Then the third bullet comment, identify the location and sufficient information to obtain your National Guard and Reserve personnel and service treatment records, if applicable, okay? On the right-hand side, the standard claim process. If you know of evidence not in your possession and want VA to try to get it for you, that's a key piece of information, and want VA to try to get it for you, you must complete and sign a VA Form 21-4142, which is an authorization to disclose information to the Department of Veterans Affairs. All right? Then the second bullet comment, give VA enough information about other relevant evidence so that we can request it from the person or agency that has it. Okay, so what does that mean? The FDC optional expedited process, the FDC process, you're basically saying, hey, I have nothing else to submit. Here's my formal claim form, here's my evidence or whatever, go ahead and move forward with my claim, okay? Now, the standard process, you're saying, wait a minute, time out. I don't want you to make a decision just yet. I want you to go and get this information, okay? That 21-4142, look at it as like a medical release form. You're giving them permission to go out to a private doctor and obtain information on your behalf, okay? And I'm going to talk to that when I explain my personal experience in doing that, okay? And I think that'll help clear up which one definitely would benefit you, but it's going to depend on what you're doing with your claim, okay? So slide number 3. In slide number 3, you can see, again, remember the left side is the fully developed claim process, and then the right side is the standard claim, okay? So on the left side, it says send the information and evidence along with your claim. Like I just said, FDC, you're saying, I have nothing else to submit. Go ahead and do what you have to do to make this decision on my claim. On the right side, it says, you are strongly encouraged to send any information and evidence as soon as you can. Now, I'm going to read this paragraph here, and I want you to pay special attention to it, okay? You have up to 1 year from the date we receive the claim to submit the information and evidence necessary to support your claim. If within 30 days you do not provide any evidence or do not provide us with the information needed to assist you with obtaining evidence, we may decide your claim prior to the expiration of the 1 year period. If we decide the claim before 1 year from the date we receive the claim, you will still have the remainder of the 1 year period to submit additional information or evidence necessary to support the claim. Now, let's go back to the top. It says, if within 30 days, you do not provide any evidence or do not provide us with the information needed to assist you in obtaining evidence, we may decide your claim. Okay? So what does that paragraph mean, or what are they saying under the standard claim process? Basically, you know, that VA Form 21-4142 that I talked about in slide number 2, if they don't get that within 30 days to go out and get the information for you, they may go ahead and move ahead and just go ahead and decide your claim. So the fully developed claim process is basically saying, hey, here's my claim. Go ahead and move my claim to the next step. I have no evidence, nothing. The standard claim process, you're saying, hey, time out. I want you all, meaning the VA, to do some type of additional development. Don't move forward with deciding my claim. But understand, like they just stated when I showed you in slide number 3, after 30 days, if they don't hear anything, they'll go ahead and move forward. Now, you got to think about it. You just put your claim on hold for 30 days. All right? So some of my personal experiences. When I first filed my claim, there wasn't an FDC program. Basically, everything was, standard, I guess, at that particular time. Okay? So one thing that I did that I wish I hadn't have done, well, I did do it. I submitted the VA form 21-4142. If I had to do it over again, I wouldn't do it. I got a call one day from a VA rep, a VSR, saying, hey, look, you listed 5 doctors on here. It's going to take us, you're looking at maybe 3 or 4 months to try and get these records. But you can go and get them yourself. And I was like, man, why didn't I think of that? And that's exactly what I did. I got all of them within a matter of a couple of weeks, actually, because as soon as I got off the phone, I just started calling doctors that I wanted to get the information. I got it myself. They faxed it to me, and I got it over to the VA within a matter, like I said, a couple of weeks, okay? And actually, it did help. There was some information I was just confirming that I had a current diagnosis. That's all it was. But thinking about it today, would I do that today? Probably not. Here's why. Because now you have the option of submitting an intent to file. Okay, you're putting the VA on notice that, hey, in the next 365 days, I'm going to file a formal claim form. And then I could go out and get that information myself and not count on the VA to do it. Okay, because it's going to be a lot faster, I think, anyway. I get it. If I have a DBQ, disability benefit questionnaire, a nexus statement from my private doctor, an actionable and sufficient DBQ and nexus statement. A lot of veterans, they don't get it. They think it's actionable and sufficient for rating purposes, but it's not. But let's just say, for all intents and purposes, you got the DBQ nexus statement, and they're good to go for rating purposes and whatever additional evidence you have, and you submit that with your formal claim form. I would select an FDC claim, okay, because I've already went out and got all that information. Now, keep in mind, there's a section on the VA form 21-526CZ that states, have you received any treatment from anywhere? Okay, now when you select that and you check the FDC box at the top, when you put that information in there saying that you want the VA to go out and get that particular private medical evidence, you just removed yourself from the FDC program, because as I stated, in the on the standard claim process, they need that 21-4142 to go get that information. So when they see that you wrote down, I received medical treatment from this particular private doctor, or let's say it's multiple doctors, then you're telling them, hey, I want you to go get that information. They're going to send you a VA form 21-42, VA form 21-4142. You sign it, you send it back. Then they go out and get those records. Each time that action is like 30 days. Now you're probably looking at 3 or 4 months down the road. And has anyone looked at your claim to schedule a CMP exam or even review your service treatment records or whatever to make a decision if you warrant a CMP exam? But let's just say you don't warrant a CMP exam. They still have to complete that development to get those records, to give you due process for your claim. Okay? So my last claim, I did an FDC claim. I was doing an increase for a particular condition. And matter of fact, I was already 100% P&T. So I was not worried about them looking at anything else. They weren't going to look at anything else other than the claim that I was claiming for increase. Okay? So I knew that I did the intent to file. I scheduled an appointment with my private physician to get a DBQ done. I got the DBQ done. I made sure it was actionable and sufficient for rating purposes, and I submitted it along with a VA form 21-526EZ with the FDC box checked. Now, the VA still scheduled me for an exam. I refused that exam because I knew that information was good enough for them to rate my case. I didn't want there to be any conflicting medical evidence. I shared this story in some of my other videos, okay? In a couple of weeks, I got that rating decision in the mail. So it took about, I want to say about a month, around a month, maybe 5 weeks. And the only reason why it took so long is because that VSR felt the need to schedule that exam instead of sending it to the RVSR and say, hey, got a veteran here, has a DBQ, go ahead and make it ready for decision, RFD, and send it to the rating activity. They didn't do that. They decided to schedule a CMP exam, and that's what held my claim up for a couple of weeks. If they hadn't done it, I would have had that claim done within a month, okay? So that's the difference between an FDC claim and a standard claim. And I shared with you when I did that whole VA form 21-4142. Again, would I do it again and ask the VA to go out and get those records? No, I would do it myself. Now, again, you got to keep in mind when you're going out for private records, some private doctors keep them up to, I think, maybe 7-10 years or something like that. So if it's been 20 years ago, there may, the doctor could have retired, passed away, the doctor's office could have closed, and those records are just gone, okay? So keep that in mind when you're writing down or thinking about dates of treatment that you had. But if I had to do it over again, I would more than likely do the FDC process because I would go out and do the legwork and get those records myself, go through them, see what I want to submit to the VA. If I had a DBQ or whatever, I would go and get that myself, and because the DBQs are back, get that completed and submit it with an FDC claim. I would check the FDC box on the VA form 21-526EZ. So please like this video, subscribe, hit that notification button. I have my educational training updated on my website at kmd89.com. And where can you find that where can you find that link? In the description section. And also, I'm still getting a lot of questions about how did you go about submitting a FOIA request? Guess what? In all my videos, I put that in the description section of each video. Okay, so you just have to click that show more button and you'll see how I obtain that information. So again, please like, subscribe, hit that notification button. Please check out my monthly educational classes, and I'll see you in my next educational video. Thank you.